So why should he be allowed to come here?
Well, again, I think if the country was getting the actual facts of this executive order, which is designed to protect the citizens of America, if they understood the facts, then it wouldn't be so much of a protest. I think the UK did something very similar by voting to leave the EU because it had...
There weren't people stranded around the world. We haven't put a ban on refugees by voting to leave the European Union.
Well,
we still appear to show a little bit of heart, which he doesn't seem to have.
Well, let's talk about the facts. Just yesterday, there were over 325,000 people to enter from foreign soils that entered the United States of America yesterday. Out of the 325,000 that did enter from foreign countries, only 109 were detained for further questioning. And then out of that, the Border Protection quickly was able to get through the 109 and allow those with waivers into the United States of America. So we're talking about 300 of 1% of people being detained for a short period of time before entering the country. So it's not so much of a ban.
Who appear to be trapped around the world, very unsure as to whether or not they can get back to their families. And as a religious man, how do you reconcile that in your own head? That you know, a man of God, and here are these people who have been wrenched from their families, apparently, people who are incredibly vulnerable, who are not being allowed any sort of sanctity. What do you say to that?
Well, I think it's important that again, people are not being allowed into the country. Okay, that's number one. This is not a ban on Muslims or on a particular religion. This is simply giving the American authorities, when our current FBI leadership is saying it is difficult for American authorities to vet refugees entering our country, when we do know for a fact 100% that those who desire to kill our way of life, including ISIS and those in the UK and Europe, want to destroy our way of life, who's infiltrating these refugees just so that they can enter into our soil to create havoc and destruction.
I understand that, right, Kevin? So where are we getting this wrong? 1.6 million people have signed this petition. 1.6 million people, he says, are wrong, misinformed.
Well, I just think there's all those protesting in the United States, and I've seen Christians, Muslims, Jewish people in the States protesting. Barack Obama's condemned it. The acting Attorney General's just been sacked for criticising it. I think just as people in America know what is going on, here in Britain, the Foreign Secretary, Boris Johnson's criticised it. MPs, Conservatives on the right, Labour on the left, Liberals in the middle, Greens, Scottish Nationalists have all criticised it. All the crowds have criticised it. People know what is going on, and it is based on bigotry and discrimination and prejudice, because nobody from those 7 countries he selected has ever killed anybody through terrorism in the United States. It just hasn't happened. He's exempted, he's left alone the countries where he has business interests. He's also left alone Saudi Arabia, which supplied most of the 9/11 hijackers who caused mass mayhem in the States.
How do you answer that?
Well, again, we're talking about giving the correct information. Number one, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, did not select these 7 countries. These were countries that have been identified under Barack Obama's administration.
But he didn't implement the executive order.
But he didn't implement the executive order in reference to refusing to allow for 6 months refugees coming from Iraq from entering to the country.
But it would appear that the president, is he a friend of his? So it would appear that he is extremely knee-jerk. He doesn't look at the legal ramifications. He just does it and be damned. Well, bearing in mind that more Americans have been killed with your gun rules, American on an American, rather than any terrorist atrocity.
Well, I think it's important that we remember why and how President Donald Trump became the President of the United States of America. He ran, and I helped promote, I've done over 50 rallies in the country, and I helped promote his agenda in the campaign, which stated America first. It's so hard for me to understand why people don't understand America first, when America first simply means protecting American citizens and first,
but you don't protect
Muslims.
Your citizens because you shoot each other constantly. And that sounds like a light thing to say, but thousands and thousands of people, children, killed through your gun
Sure,
laws,
sure.
that a far greater threat to safety, surely, than any terrorist.
Well, again, we got to also remember this in reference to this so-called ban, which is not a ban. I think if we call it for what it really is, this is in a particular group of individuals that is out to not destroy just American lives, but we're also talking about those here in the UK.
Britain has reacted in this way to him. How's he going to feel about coming to Britain, knowing that there's going to be more protests like this, probably when he's in the country?
Sure.
Should he not withdraw to save embarrassment to our Queen?
Well, you know, I think your Prime Minister in her latest visit to the U.S. made it very clear that the United States and Britain has a special relationship, and I believe it is our job as two of the leading nations in the world to help lead this nation, lead the world as a team, as we've done in the past, and to continue to reiterate our special relationship. Having said that, the president has, you know, I traveled the country with the campaign. Protest is not an issue to the president. What is more important is results. What is more important that we continue to reiterate our special relationship, as Prime Minister Theresa May stated, and to ensure the rest of the world that a stronger UK is a stronger America. A stronger America is a stronger UK.